Big day in college football today. Thank you guys for joining me, George Reister, Unafraid Show. I appreciate your time and your energy. We're going to go through super quick with the gambling picks and also which I am posting on Twitter right now. My gambling picks for today. Last week I rebounded big time. Super excited about that because we had a little trouble in week one. So week three though, on the Unafraid Show, college football pool slate, we have Florida State and Syracuse. Florida State favored by 3.5 points. I got Syracuse. They're playing in the Carrier Dome. Florida State has not been playing well. Willie Taggart has another disastrous performance, and they're going to be trying to run the black man out of Tallahassee real quick, even though I hope that does not happen. Oklahoma favored by 17.5 over Iowa State. I got Oklahoma in this game. They've been just too dominant, too good. They win. And Iowa State didn't put up points against Iowa last week. No chance that they stay close in this game against Oklahoma. Georgia Tech favored by 3.5 points over Pittsburgh. I got Georgia Tech in this game. Triple option, too tough to stop the majority of the time, especially when Pittsburgh has not been playing that great. Upset of the day. I'm agreeing with Kirk Herbstreit here. Notre Dame gets beat by Vanderbilt. And even if they don't get beat, they will cover the they will stay within the 14.5 points. There's no way Notre Dame beats Vanderbilt by 14.5 points. Vanderbilt, Derek Mason has his team playing well. Excited about that. Next game up, Wisconsin, 21.5 over BYU. When is Wisconsin going to play anybody? Well, I guess BYU did beat Arizona, but apparently Arizona sucks right now. I got Wisconsin in this game. They're going to absolutely demolish BYU. It's going to get ugly. They're going to be running the ball, and they're not going to be able to stop it with those road graders. Oklahoma State, Boise State. Boise State is Oklahoma State's favored by 3.5 points. Listen, there's something about Boise State that just plays super well, especially in these big games versus big-time teams, and I like Boise State here. I like Boise State in the 3.5 points. I mean, how could you not like Boise State with 3.5 points? Another huge game today, Auburn giving 9.5 points to LSU. I saw the LSU-Washington game. I saw the Auburn-Washington game. So you know what's going to happen to Auburn today? Auburn's taking an L. Yeah, we're going to get to USC, Texas. Auburn's taking an L today in terms of this line. I don't love LSU's offense, but they are going to stay close. Same way, if Washington supposed to win the game with Jake Browning, the liability, then guess what's going to happen with LSU today? LSU will be just fine. Texas Tech. 2.5, Houston. I like Texas Tech in this game, despite Houston destroying Arizona and Texas Tech losing to Ole Miss. Nevada, Oregon State. Nevada's favored by 3.5 points over Oregon State. I like Oregon State in this game. Nevada got absolutely drowned. In their week one game. I'm sorry, in their week two game. So, yeah. Yep, I like that. Alabama, 20.5 over Ole Miss. No way Alabama covers this spread. No way, no how. Ole Miss is playing good football, and they generally give Alabama a tough time. They always give Alabama a tough time. So I like them there. Missouri, Purdue, 7.5. I like Purdue in this game. I know that Purdue's 0-2. They lost to nail biter last week. But I got to go with Purdue here. You guys are watching the Unafraid Show. Make sure you swipe up, share the feed, tell a friend about the Unafraid Show, and go to unafraidshow.com. All type of articles between today and tomorrow, college football, all the stuff you want and need. Ohio State, TCU. Ohio State giving 12.5 points. TCU's a good team. They always keep it close, but they're playing in Buckeye land, in the horseshoe. So I got to go with Ohio State there. And so now we're going to get to the Pac-12. We're going to get to the Pac-12 games, Pac-12 preview. And you guys, all you Pac-12 fans, thank you for joining me. Yeah, tell a friend, because this is the Conference of Champions. Conference of Champions. Yes, I know. Yes, it hasn't been a college football national championship since USC, but guess what? Still got more national championships than everything else. This is just the truth. First game in the College of Champions today. So we already went. I guess the main game everybody's going to be looking at is Texas USC. Both Clay Helton and Tom Herman are going to be playing for their seat. Their seat on the hot seat. They're both going to be playing for their seat on the hot seat. Come on, man. We're both going to be playing for that. No way, no how is this game going to just end up well for the loser, especially if they don't play well. They're playing in Arlington. Texas, USC. I got USC in this game. I'm not a Clay Helton apologist. If he loses this game, Clay Helton's getting fired. Close. He's close. Especially if they lose to Notre Dame too this year. He's going to be out of there. Freshman quarterback or not. So he better get it together and beat Texas, because people think that Texas is teetering and the Pac-12 needs a win. Pac-12 needs every out-of-conference win, or it needs to be like Oregon, like Washington and Auburn. It cannot be a bad loss at all, but especially against a floundering team like Texas, USC has to win, because there's no excuse for what happened last week against Stanford. I have Stanford highly ranked in my top 10, but there's no way that USC, with all that 5-star talent, should be getting held touchdown lists. There's no excuse for that. We got Washington and Utah. Washington's favored by 6.5 points. I like Utah against the points. They're playing at Rice-Eccles Stadium in Utah. Not sure how well Jake Browning is going to play, because he never plays well versus good defenses. And if Utah continues to play good defense, plays tough, Washington is going to have their hands full. And if Washington loses this game, Oregon should be excited, and everybody else that should play them, because this is going to be a heartbreaking loss, because Washington believed that they have national championship or playoff hopes, and this is going to absolutely kill them. This is going to kill them if they lose this game. So watch this game. If it gets close late, I like Utah especially to outright win, not just cover the points. A game I'm absolutely terrified about. Fresno State and UCLA. The reason why, because I never want the Pac-12 to lose when they're playing out of conference. Fresno State is coached by my former offensive coordinator, Jeff Tedford. And before he went to Cal to go coach at Cal, he was the offensive coordinator at Oregon. Jeff Tedford's a good coach. And Fresno State narrowly lost to, I think it was Minnesota last week. That was a narrow loss. So this is a team that's capable of beating a Power 5 team. And UCLA and Minnesota are about right on the same cusp, buddy. And UCLA, I believe Chip Kelly's going to find a way to get his athletes in space and get his young little quarterback, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, some easier looks, and find a way to just nickel and dime this game. So even though Fresno State is favored by a half point, I got UCLA. Arizona State, San Diego State. This game should be interesting because of the Stanford-San Diego State game. Stanford and San Diego State plays just like Stanford does. They line up in power sets and they run the football until your eyes bleed. And so if Arizona State can stop the run, which I do believe they can because they stopped the run against Michigan State. If you can stop the run against Michigan State with those big old hogs, you can stop the run against San Diego State. San Diego State's running back is good, but if you keep them in front of them, this should be an easy win and an easy cover of the 4.5 points for Arizona State. No problem there. It should not be a problem. We got to for the rest of the Pac-12. Obviously, there is the Oregon game versus San Jose State. Not worried about this at all. I don't even know how much Oregon is favored by. I think it's like 1 million. And if Washington State beat them 31-0, then who knows what's going to happen today. Just hopefully Oregon keeps everybody healthy. And Stanford as well, because Stanford's playing UC Davis at Stanford Stadium. There's no chance. I mean, like, there's zero chance UC Davis wins this game. I mean, hell will freeze over before Stanford loses this game. So the Stanford-Oregon game, what you have to hope is that both of these teams stay extremely healthy, because next week College Game Day will be in Eugene for the Stanford-Oregon game. Big-time game. Super excited. Super excited for that. The first real heavyweight matchup in the Pac-12 so far, because Stanford USC proved not to be a heavyweight matchup. Colorado, New Hampshire, easy dub for Colorado. Hopefully that they don't even take any time off, get mentally laxed and let this game be closer than it should be. Cal and Iowa State. Damn, man, how bad is this? How bad is this slate of games in the Pac-12? In general. It's horrendous. And it's not just the Pac-12. It's going on in the SEC, Big Ten, Big 12, and ACC as well. It's just frustrating for me as a college football fan. Oregon State, Nevada. This game could get tricky. Nevada's favored by 3.5 in this game. But I like Oregon State, even though they are playing in Reno. Washington State, Eastern Washington. Oh, boy. How's this going to go? Because the Eastern Washington puts up a lot of points. They throw the ball around, but Washington State has better athletes. They got better athletes, better players. However, if there were a game that would be a tricky, could be some type of random Appalachian State game, this is it. That's it right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's the one you point to. Last game on the Pac-12 slate is Southern Utah and Arizona State. And Arizona. Listen. Southern Utah has gotten demolished by They gotten demolished by Oregon State, and they got demolished by another Pac-12 team, which I forgot. But I mean, Arizona's playing awfully. This should be their first win, but I wouldn't put it past. I mean, Arizona's favored by 23 points. Arizona's going to win the game, but it may not be in cute fashion. They may not just absolutely boat race and dominate them, which would be embarrassing. I mean, to say the least. If Arizona does not demolish them, then they are going to get absolutely just demolished in the Pac-12. They will not win I'm telling you this, if Arizona loses this game to Southern Utah, there is zero chance that they win a football game all year. Zero chance they win one. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your energy. And you already know, after the games, we'll be back on the Pac-12. The Pac-12 preview will be, the college football top 10 will be out at the close of business today. So you'll have it tonight if you're up late. Tomorrow, first thing you wake up, go to unafraidshow.com. Peace out. On the way to my kids' baseball game. We'll be watching the football games on my phone. But I love you guys. Appreciate it. Peace out.